Hey, Facebook, it's Sarah McLeodry from Jens here in Portland, Oregon. It kind of gives you a look, actually, sunny today. Well, on and off rain, which is a little weird for us, but so be it. It's June 30th, and we are just days away from July 4th. And here in Portland, people love their fireworks in a way that I have never seen. And so fireworks are already going off in my neighborhood, and I'm sure other places around Portland. And so we need to start talking about and thinking about how we can safely manage the 4th of July for our pet. And the reason why I say pets is because cats also have during the 4th of July. We sometimes forget about them. But we want to talk a couple of simple things that you can do to maybe help out and things to watch out for when it comes to firework phobias and making sure that they don't happen with your dog. So one of the things we want to think about is has your dog previously shown an issue with fireworks? If that is the case, then I would definitely contact your vet and talk to them about what you could do to help them maybe with medications or supplements, things like that. If you know that you have a problem. A few days. This is a very busy time for vets, so please contact them as soon as possible to help them out so that they are not too swamped on July 3rd trying to get you some help. But those of us who maybe aren't sure if our dogs are going to have an issue or our dogs have not had an issue in the past, what can we do to make sure that stays the same? So one thing is if you have an older dog, things might change. So if you've had a dog that for years has been great with the fireworks, and now as they're aging, maybe their hearing has changed, that can really change how they adapt to fireworks. I had a dog with cognitive dysfunction back in the day, and as she aged, definitely fireworks became a problem for her. So don't just assume because previously they've been great that they will be this year. So a couple things that you can do in and around your house to make that day better. One is noise canceling situations. So you put up a noise machine, you can do a big box fan, making sure that you just have white noise playing all day long so that it just kind of cancels out the noises of the fireworks. Other thing you can work on is playing a loud movie during the actual fireworks. So sometimes dogs who aren't bothered by noises on movies, you can play a movie with a lot of like a shoot 'em up kind of movie that has lots of bangs and booms and things like that. And sometimes that will mask the sound of the fireworks. So that's a really great solution. Um, Also, covering up your windows. So there's different parts of the fireworks that different dogs have issues with. So some dogs, it's a sound. So just the bangs and the screams and all of those things. For some dogs, it is the flashing light. So if you're not visually close to fireworks, they'll be better. And for some dogs, it's the smell of smoke that becomes a trigger. So you have to think about all of those different parts. But if your dog is one who is bothered by lightning or is bothered by the sight of fireworks, then definitely covering your windows with some dark out cloths, even just putting a blanket up for the day, closing your blinds, things like that can be really helpful. Then, or plan on spending the day in an interior room or a basement. So in my house, my interior room that wouldn't have access to windows is my bathroom, which is not super exciting, but there's definitely ways that I make my bathroom a little more cozy for me and my dog to hang out with for a couple of hours. It's not a horrible place to be. If people know me and my training, I always joke that I do a ton of my training in the bathroom. So why not hang out there for fireworks night also? Other things we want to think about is safety during the day and the evening. So the day before, or even now, go ahead and do a fence check. Make sure that all of your fence is completely secure because we know that the 5th of July is the highest day where dogs end up and cats end up in shelters. So making sure that your fence is fully secured, all your latches are working, you don't have any loose boards, things like that, where if your dog was to get panicked, they could get out. So that's an easy thing for you to do right now. Also, make sure your dogs and cats' microchips are up to date. So double that if you need to, maybe go and have them scanned, make sure they're in the correct places. So that's another easy thing to do between now and 4th. And then the other thing is making sure that your dog has proper ID, your dog and cat has proper ID in their collar, and it's up to date. The number of times that people pick up dogs who have an old phone number on them that's out of service is amazing. So making sure that that information is on their collar and it's up to date. And then also making sure that that collar is snug and that it's going to stay on them if they were to get panicked. Also with the safety is making sure that you, every time you go out on the 4th of July, and I would do it all day long because, like I said, my neighborhood can be a little crazy and people send off loud bangs randomly, even in the middle of the day, is I would walk my dog on leash with a harness on to make sure that they're less likely to slip out of it. And so that you're, even if you're walking in your own backyard, I would still put that leash on to make sure that I don't have to worry about my dog bolting and something happening to them. So we've done our fence check, microchip check, we're walking our dog on leash. Those are nice day of safety options. But between now and then, what we do to make sure that day is going to be great is start to fill up your frozen food toys. So lots of them. So it might be a night where you're going to skip dinner for your dog because all of their food is going to come out of frozen food toys. So I love the Westpaw Topples because they're easy to clean and they're easy to fill. But we're looking at the Topples, Kongs, Licky Mats are awesome. I also use the puzzle bowls and I will fill them up with broth and freeze those. And that's a great way to keep your dog really engaged for a long time because it's a really big surface and you can stick extra treats in that broth before you freeze it. So you want to have a lot of those that you can last throughout the night. You don't want just one and your dog be done in 20 minutes. So you also have to know how long your dog takes to empty those filled toys. And looking at a variety of items with those toys. Another great interactive toy is a Snuffle Mat, which you can either make yourself or you can buy them online. Probably Amazon at this point would be the best bet to get one quickly, if you're not crafty. But there's lots of great ways to make Snuffle Mats online. You can check those out. My dogs love the Snuffle Mats. Great way to hide dry food. So if a dog is on maybe a special diet that they can't have in a Kong, Snuffle Mats are great for that. But if you do have a dog on a specialized diet, you can soak your kibble in just warm water, and then it will break down and you can mush it up and put it in those food dispensing toys. So don't despair, even if you have an allergy dog who can't have lots of different treats. There's still ways to make those food dispensing toys helpful for them. And we also want to think about just giving reinforcement, any type of treat, every time you hear a bang. Just simple classical conditioning. Bang happens, weird noise, dog gets a cookie, no big deal. Like I said, you may want to make sure that you are maybe not having dinner that night because they're going to get a lot more reinforcement and treats than they would on a normal evening. So that's another thing to think about. Also, you want to think about if maybe you have a new dog to you and you're not sure if they're going to have an issue with fireworks. We do know that 63% of dogs with separation-related issues have noise phobias. And so if you have a dog with some separation-related issues, but you don't know if they're going to be okay with fireworks, let's just assume they're going to and prepare accordingly. So going ahead and making sure that you have those food toys, things like that, ready. The other thing is one of our clients does is they just go for a drive. So they go on I-5 here, going north and south, and they just take a drive for full hours out of their neighborhood and keep on driving until usually most of the fireworks have passed. And they found that one of the easiest ways to avoid the fireworks in the neighborhood is just not keep on driving. So that's a good thing to think about. If you have a dog with some reactivity and maybe some minor fireworks issues, then being aware that their stress level right now is really added on to, we always talk about their bucket being overfilled. So if fireworks are going off repeatedly day after day, the chance of them being more reactive in other situations is higher. So you want to think about the whole picture for your dog's mental health right now. Even us just home all day is for some of our dogs is a little stressful. So just adding those fireworks on can change some of your basic behavior problems with your dog. So thinking about how fireworks can affect the whole dog and not just for that moment. And also too, we do know that cortisol levels can stay elevated in dogs quite some time after a stressful situation. So even though the fireworks may be done on the 4th of July in your neighborhood, making sure that I would take a pretty chill 5th of July and make sure that you're not doing anything wild and crazy. If you have a dog who has some anxiety or stress, they're probably going to be pretty overdone from the day before. So just keep it chill for a couple days after the 4th also. So we have recorded and have on demand our fear-free fireworks webinar, and you can find that on our website for more information. That webinar goes in depth a little bit more to medication options and what you can do with desensitization and counter conditioning, and you can do that on demand. We recorded it a couple weeks ago, but you can pay for it on demand and rent it or buy it for yourself on our website at synergybehavior.com to give you some more information and some more tips on the 4th of July. My assumption, though, always is assume the worst, and I like to hang out and stay at home with my dogs on the 4th and not be a part of that. I want to make sure that my dogs and cats have a safe and easy 4th of July as best as possible. So just plan on staying home. It's also social distancing since we're having some COVID upswings around a lot of parts of the country. Staying home may be the best option, and you can use your dog and cats as an excuse of why you need to stay home. So go ahead and do that. They won't know that you blamed them. So if you have any questions or any concerns or thoughts about your 4th of July, go ahead and leave them in the comments and we'll respond back. We'll also put a link in the comments to that on-demand webinar to give you some more information, and we'll put a link to our previous Facebook Live that we did about how to fill Kongs quickly. So I'll put that on too. And we hope you have a great July. Stay home, stay safe, keep your pets safe and happy, and let us know if you have any questions. Once again, Sarah from Synergy Solutions, and we look forward to seeing you soon.